Hello everyone, EG Productions here, and this is going to be a very weird video, or at least an unusual one. So, yesterday I was at a friend's house, and we started talking about this old thing called Bakugan. I don't know if any of you ever remember this, but if you do, well, this was the thing I collected before I ever collected Legos, really. I always loved the TV show on Cartoon Network, and I just like collecting a lot of the toys, and I have a decent amount of them. So I figure it would be interesting, because I haven't looked at this in years. I haven't opened this box in a very long time. So I figured it just might be interesting to make a video, because this friend of mine, he then brought out his collection, showed me all of his, and I was like, oh man, these things are way cooler. Why did I ever stop with this? Now, they don't make these anymore, so these things are kind of old, but I kept them all in this box. Unfortunately, some of the letters wore off. I don't remember how that happened, but it's always been like that. But I figure it'd just be cool to show this off. I really just want to see what I have. Now, I kind of cheated a bit because I already looked through this box somewhat, so some of the stuff is already kind of sort of like open, but most of it isn't. And I figured this just might be a fun like little throwback thing, blast from the past, because this gives me lots of nostalgia, because I have like the Wii game and all of this stuff, and it was so cool seeing that, because I didn't even know this person who I mentioned before liked Bakugan, and I haven't met that many people who have, or they at least don't remember it. But again, this was like before I collected a bunch of Legos. I always liked collecting these. So let's take a look. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, so I already looked at this. This is the old like Dragonoid Colossus. A lot of the names, I'm surprised with how well I remember some of the names, but a lot of them I can't really remember. Just put those out of the way there, and let's take a closer look. So I think this is like the battle gear, I believe. The traps were different. I think this goes on the Dragonoid Colossus, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna set some of this stuff to the side. And here we go. I will lift the tripod. That will give a better view. So now I can get in here, and you can all see this better. So let's see. Let's just take a look at all this stuff. This is going to be pretty chill. I remember this one. I don't know what it is, but I recognize it. This too. This is a version of Dragonoid, I believe, but it's a light or chaos version, because they all had the special names for the elements. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, I remember these. These are the old, like, McDonald's toys. You just press the bottom. That's pretty cool. It's like the Phase 2 versions of these two characters, I believe. Because, yeah, the main, like, gimmick with these, if you didn't know, was you got out, like, one of these metal cards, and it's magnetic, so you just put it on there, and, if it would work. Okay, this one is not working properly. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, okay. Some of these are kind of old and broken a bit. And yeah, you just put it on there and they pop open. This is a cool one. It's like trans color. I have a few more like that from the looks of it. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even know I had this one. Oh, he's broken. Aw, man. Gosh dang it. Okay, well, at least I still have it. Yeah, a lot of mine are broken because they're really old. Oh, and here is more of that Battle Gear stuff I mentioned. You can just put this on the back. You just do this and... Whoa. Huh. That's pretty cool. Nice. So, yeah, and then you just fold these back up because they can all fold up into balls. That was the biggest draw of them, like this one. I think this one's name is Skyress, I believe. So you just would put it into a ball shape like this. And so once it's closed, then you just put it on metal and it pops open. So it's really cool. And then there's some added stuff you have to, like added joints and stuff you have to open yourself. But for the most part, it opens up really cool. So, yeah, I remember why I like these things. They were just so cool, and like collecting all of them. And I think this is a rare one too, so I'm glad I have this. So let's see what else we have in here. There's a lot of interesting things. Although I will say, one thing that does make me kind of mad. When I was younger, I thought drawing all over these with Sharpie would make them look cool. But now it just looks kind of silly. So I kind of wish I could remove that. I'm sure there's a way if I could get like some sort of remover. I'm sure there's a way to get rid of it, but I don't like this. Because like this one is just supposed to be green. But I colored to make it black to make it look cooler. And I guess I can kind of see, I mean, it does look interesting, more dynamic, but like with sort of rarer ones like this, I kind of ruined it a bit. Although I will, well, not really rare, just this one's more of like a prominent one, although it is missing a wing, it broke off. Like I said, these things are really old, at least. Or at least really old by my standards. I don't remember what year or anything they came out. And I did a similar thing to this droid. This isn't Bakugan, this is Lego, but just, I had this, like, astromech droid, and I colored it blue, just to make a stupid pun. R-Blue-D2. It's not a stupid pun, I think it's pretty funny, actually. But, that was my logic back in the day. But it's different. But that's okay, because I had fun while doing it, so I don't have any really regrets. Because it's not good to have regrets. Okay, so these gunmetal ones, I figured I did have this set, and that's because this was a specific, there was an episode of Season 2 of the show, I believe. Oh, here's another trans one. Sorry, again, this whole video isn't completely disjointed, and I figured it would be like that, because I figured as much. Oh, this is the same one, it's just a different element, and it's a different color. Oh, this is so cool. Man, this is awesome. So glad I found all this stuff again. Well, I didn't really find it. It was just in a box for like years. Okay, this is another battle gear that goes on the Colossus Dragonoid. I may show that off at the end. There's another one. I'm looking for all these gunmetal ones because these all combine together to make like a sort of super form version. And it was really cool. Like, I remember those episodes of the show. Those were awesome. Like, they had, like, the two super form. It was, like, Drago versus Helios, and they had a giant battle. It was awesome. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, and here's Helios that comes with it. It's the exclusive gunmetal one. Okay, so I think this may be all of them. I don't remember how to combine them, though. I may have to look that up later, though, because I am really curious about that. That's something I really want to see. Ooh, what's this? Oh, I think this is yeah, this is a dark Wyvern. Oh, that's so cool. Because she was one of the prominent, she was Naga's brother, I believe. Oh yeah, and the person I went to see yesterday had a Naga figure, and I didn't even know they had that one. I didn't even know they made him. He was the main villain of Season 1, so that's really cool. And this was his sister, I believe. Except she was a light version, but this is a dark one. Alright, so, I'm just gonna check again and see if there are any more interesting things to show off. Oh, great. Yeah, I was not the most careful with my toys back in the day. Unfortunately, I did not always treat my belongings with the greatest of care, but nowadays I try to. I remember this one. This one I do remember. I don't remember, again, I hardly remember any of the names aside from like the main characters, but it's still pretty cool. There's another battle gear. They did have some things called traps back in the day, but I don't think I have any anymore. This is one of the original ones, I believe. Because, I don't know, I think I lost or like gave away a lot of these things, so I don't have as many as I used to, but that's alright. I'm looking back, there are plenty, especially since I haven't used them in a very long time. Okay, so interesting thing about these, you notice these are bigger. It's because I went once to a flea market and I found these at like, these are like Japanese versions, and I got some special Japanese cards, like this one. Like, this is the Japanese version, like, so, yeah, Bomb Ball, because they called it that in Japan, I suppose, but they gave it a different name in America, but, man, this is really cool. But so yeah, these are like the Japanese versions. I believe this character's name is Diablo, I think, and then, so yeah, that's why these are bigger, so they're a lot different. But yeah, it's all in Japanese, so I figured that was worth showing. It's really cool about that. Because, again, yeah, I mean, I just found those, and I don't even think they were that expensive. I don't remember how much they were. That was a long time ago. Oh, here's like a pencil stamp thing that I got when I got a book for this, I believe. I think I thought it was an eraser, so I tried to, like, use it as one at one point. That was so silly. But, that looks about... Oh, here's another one of the battle gear. So I think that's it for, like, the general stuff. Now I'm going to try and combine to make the full version of this guy, because I really want to see that. So once I get that figured out, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and it's actually been about 5 days later. Because I started this whole video on Sunday, and it's the next Friday. Yeah, I got really busy, and I ran out of time to do it on Sunday. But fortunately, I can do it now. So, I figured just before ending off the video, I'll just show some of the combiner stuff I was talking about. I seem to be missing one of these, but for this Helios figure, it came with like a set of 6 of these gunmetal figures. So, let me just find one of the metal cards here. So, basically how this worked is there's a peg on the back of him, and there's one on, I think this guy's name is Fencer. He's connected here. Now, I believe there's one more that's supposed to go in between these, but this is the general idea of how these things connect, and it was pretty cool. There was also one with, let me see if I can find it. There's also one with the Dragonoid too. He had a combiner as well with battle gear, but excuse me, traps. But unfortunately, I don't have all of those at the moment. In fact, I'm actually missing the Dragonoid that goes to the Dragonoid Colossus here. So I'm just going to use Helios. Okay, well that sprung out a bit too much. So basically, this was another combiner, except this isn't really like, I guess it does kind of count as an actual Bakugan figure, but it doesn't, it's obviously too big to fold up into a ball. But what it did was, it came with, as I mentioned before, the Dragonoid, but it also came with all of this battle gear, which battle gear is different from traps because these pegs, you hook them onto the back of the figures, and it'll activate. Well, you can do the same thing with this figure. In fact, it fits 4 of them, and they're all specifically designed for the Dragonoid Colossus. So as you can see, there's these pegs. You put this one on the tail here, and this will be the tail. I'm just trying to remember what order these things go in. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I just kind of want to get it correct. I believe this one goes here, and this thing's kind of sensitive, so it may activate at any... It could activate just from me doing this, but hopefully not. So once they're all in place, then you simply put... Okay. If the wing would cooperate with me... So once it'll activate, you just put your figure in here, and the whole thing pops open like that. And that's pretty cool how that works. And this thing is kind of like a full-on action figure because you can move the legs. They have articulation. You can move, you can move all of these legs. They have articulation, and you can also get these horns here as well. So this is pretty cool. Oh, and the mouth opens too. So this thing's pretty awesome. And I just love how all the components go together. I just think that's so cool. Like, these toys were awesome. Oh, and then the final battle gear you actually have to place afterward. You just place it on those 2 larger pegs, and hopefully it'll activate. Let me see if I can get it again. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to get this one. I guess I can just kind of force it open like that. But this is what it normally looks like. And, well, minus this. Again, there should be a red Dragonoid here. But again... Unfortunately, I couldn't find it, but I do think this is pretty cool. I like this thing a lot, and I think it's awesome. Now, of course, the counterpart to that was this. Now, again, unfortunately, I have seen the Bakugan that went with this one around, but I can't find the other arm. But this is also battle gear, believe it or not. At least I think it is. Let me check. This is a huge one, but I think it is meant to be battle gear. And you can kind of use that in a similar way. Okay, maybe not with this one. You know, actually, these may not be battle gear. I feel kind of silly now, but I I at least thought they were, but I guess not. No, they're mostly just meant for this figure. Again, these two are more just like action figures, but I still think they're awesome. I think that's so cool. But that's about it really for this video. I just thought it would be kind of fun to take an old look at some of these things, because I liked these quite a lot back in the day. And I'm just going to think if there's anything else to show off. Let me see. I can't remember if I already showed off these two, but if I haven't, then these two are some of my favorites. Wyvern and Skyress. Nailed it. Skyress there. And again, I'd say my favorite one I have is definitely this guy, the Dragonoid Colossus. He's just so cool. I do hope I can eventually find the Dragonoid that went with it, because then it'll be complete. But overall, I think it's all this stuff. Like this was such a cool idea, I think, and it was a cool toy line and everything. And I'm definitely glad I have a decent amount of them, especially these sort of like rare. I don't know how rare they are, but the Japanese bomb ball, because I just think that's super cool that I was able to find these in like the Japanese in that yard sale. It's just I don't know. It's kind of authentic in a way. So yeah, it's pretty neat. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. I definitely appreciate it, and who knows, maybe I'll do another Bakugan based video in the future. I don't know. Again, I just thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to do, since it's a bit of a unique video. I don't normally do stuff like this. Here's another one of those gunmetal ones. Sorry, I got distracted. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Have a good one.